So the first thing they do is have a party called the Mayu. And in the Mayu, they put oil and ubtan, which is this kind of cleansing powder for the face. It's made of chickpea powder and turmeric. And they put it on both the bride and the groom, respectively. And what it does is it's a beautification sort of powder. It's for cleansing the face, making them glow, making them look good. And it's like an age-old tradition. I mean, they have new products that they use nowadays, but this is just something that's been going on for a long time, and it's natural. Again, it's for beautification purposes because, you know, part of the whole wedding ceremony is that you need to beautify both the bride and the groom. They need to look good. It's a happy occasion, so they need to get all dolled up. After that, they have another party called the Mendi. Usually the men and women celebrate it separately. Nowadays, they do a lot of Mendis that are mixed. What happens there is the bride puts on henna, which in my language is called Mendi. And you just do a lot of beautiful designs on both the hands and feet, sometimes even the face. And, you know, just get the bride all dolled up, looking really good. And they usually, you know, they pierce the nose too. They give her like this giant nose ring, specifically for the wedding. Since Pakistan was a part of India just until recently, maybe around 60, 70 years ago, a lot of the cultures from India transferred over to that. I mean, Pakistan culture is derived from India, but it's also influenced by the Muslim religion. So they have a lot of the same like traditions, although different beliefs. Yeah, the state of Punjab, there's a section in Pakistan and there's a section in India. Yeah, well, they also dance. Again, it's another party, so they always have dancing. Usually with the girls, they would get around and they'd start playing drums and just singing songs, happy marriage songs. A lot of them are from like really old songs that have been going on for a long time, or they might be songs from Bollywood movies that are really popular. Yeah, they just sing a whole bunch of songs, usually not to music, it's just to the drum beat. The guys would too sometimes also join in dancing, girls also join in dancing. Again, a lot of the times the parties are separate. They're not co-ed, but sometimes they are. After that is the nikah, which is the actual marriage contract. And in that, both the bride and the groom, they sign the official marriage contract, and once that's signed, then they're officially married. It's important to note that both parties, the bride and the groom, have to agree with the contract 100%, otherwise it's null and void. And they also need 3 witnesses to sign the contract as well. Yeah, I mean, they get nicely dressed up for the signing specifically. I mean, they don't really need to, but a lot of the times, right after they sign the contract, they'd have a party too, so they might be dressed up. Yeah, she's wearing some traditional outfits too. It's just jewelry. Again, the woman would get all dolled up, all decked out, as much jewelry as she can wear. As you can see, the bride and groom are sitting on those nice fancy golden chairs. That's actually really common in these weddings. They need to look like a king and queen because it's their day, it's all about them, and everyone needs to please them. And they're wearing the traditional garb. The groom has changed into his traditional shalwar kameez. And the woman, she seems to be wearing a lehenga. And a lot of the times what happens too is they coordinate the colors.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see she's wearing red and he has a red scarf. When the bride and groom enter the room, they would don them with something like a lei. It's just a necklace of flowers. Yeah.
Oh.
They also decorate their car with it. Well, after that, they have the walima, which is where the groom takes the bride to his home, where it's for, you know, consummation or whatever. Just the bride and the groom spending the night together for the first time. And they are officially married at this point. And the day after, they have another party celebrating that, you know, they're together as bride and groom, they're as man and wife. I think the first wedding that I went to, I was around 6 years old. It was my aunt's wedding, my mom's sister. And I remember very little from it. And I do remember a whole bunch dancing, and I do remember my little cousin ripping my dress. And I did see videos of my parents' wedding. And what's interesting about my parents' wedding is they actually met on the day of their nikah, the signing of the contract. That was the first time they met ever. Like, they never talked on the phone or anything. They put a lot of trust into their family members when going into this marriage. And what happened was that my mom's sister was a friend of my dad's sister, and that's how they sort of got introduced. And, you know, their family talked about it, and they got together and talked about it. And my parents had a lot of trust in them, and they just, you know, they went ahead and agreed with it. But a lot of times they do have an arranged marriage, and that's sort of like tradition. And again, it is consented.
It requires a lot of faith.
It does, it does. And usually the families there are very close, so they really have a good understanding of their son or daughter when marrying them off. The bride and groom have to agree 100%. Right. And if they verbally say no, that means no, it's not going to happen. Well, you do need a reason for divorce, but it could be anything. But usually what happens is if either the husband or the wife wants a divorce, they have to give it time. You say it once, but you have to give some time to cool off. You don't just say it once and go through with it.
Well, thank you again.
No problem.
That was very informative.
No problem at all.